What's up gamers, Dreamcastguy here, talking today about Crash Bandicoot 4, because this game has had a lot of details coming out, including the fact that it's going to have over 100 levels, which is kind of shockingly big, multiple playable characters, and now it just leaked that it's going to have microtransactions. Because, of course, it's an Activision game, and they're freaking required to put loot crates, microtransactions, in-app purchases in every single game they create. Now, I want to talk specifically about why this is annoying, even if the game itself happens to be great. Real quickly though, I do want to acknowledge that this is my first day in the new house. I stayed up all night trying to build my shelves again and set up my games in a way that looks cool and stuff. So if the audio or video or anything like that is a little bit peculiar, I'm still trying to set things up. Also, we just passed 180,000 subscribers. Wowzers, I really want to try and break 200,000 by the end of the year, so thank you everybody who's been sharing my videos and hitting that like button. Honestly, every video has just been exploding. I cannot thank you enough. Now let's talk about Crash Bandicoot. This marsupial has always been in an odd place because, let's face it, he was originally invented to try and just be some direct competition to Sonic and Mario. The idea behind it was that, like, okay, you guys have your 3D platformers, well, we have the 3D platformer. But over time, Crash kind of fell into an odd spot. He didn't really have a way to try and keep up as these systems managed to grow and evolve. So Sony sort of pivoted more towards games like Uncharted or The Last of Us. They realized, okay, let's go for that gritty realism and leave the kitty mascots behind. And what's funny is that even though Sony for a long time kind of ignored Crash, the Crash fans still absolutely supported him. There's been a huge outcry for years and years and years of bring Crash back. And he's returned in a really, really big way. Obviously, we got the Crash Insane trilogy, which I love so much. Still, this is, honestly, this is my favorite platformer probably of all time, just because it's so fast, it's so technical. The Crash Insane trilogy is a marvel, but then they decided to randomly follow up that game with another classic hit and bring back Crash Team Racing. But this left people in an odd spot, which is where people went, okay, these are remakes, when are we going to get a new game, which we now have revealed? Now, in general, I think that this game looks so freaking fun. I'm definitely going to be playing it, but some hardcore gamers have noticed that if you look at the store page specifically for Crash 4 on certain platforms, it says in the fine print that this is going to have in-app purchases. This is required in any game that's trying to sell you microtransactions, because basically what it's saying is that if you buy the game, you have it, here it is, it's great, it's your $60 experience, it's basically legally required to warn you that as soon as you open the game up, it's going to try and sell you more stuff inside of it. This kind of stuff drives me bonkers because I feel like it's just so pervasive. Every company now goes, all right, you make a good game, but your real profit is trying to sell skins and stuff. Now let's just take a step back. Before I get too aggravated, let's assume that this is the absolute best case scenario. Let's assume that everything goes great. Let's just sit here, put on our imagination goggles, and picture a future where it's already October 2nd and suddenly Crash Bandicoot comes out. So just looking at the trailers and reading some developer interviews and stuff, it definitely seems like this game is going to be fun. I mean, right now, we are trying to picture the absolute best case scenario. So of course, that means that this game is going to have 100 levels. Let's assume that those levels are going to be good. This also corrects the complicated and confusing storyline that happens in the previous Crash games to make it all one timeline. That is great. So you may be asking, why is it that now this is so annoying that they would try and sell you skins and stuff? Because in my opinion, part of the reason that people still kind of gravitate to classic gaming, the people who are still so obsessed with retro collecting, it's because there's definitely a purity to it. If I want to try and unlock something in an old game, I just had to beat it on like hard mode. If I wanted to try and have some cool new special super weapon, I could grind to get it. The fact that they're deciding to bring back Crash specifically, they've now spent years trying to revamp him, restoring his old games, doing these great remasters, and now the first sequel we're getting is going to have microtransactions. It feels like they don't even understand the purpose of Crash in the first place. Now, let me be clear, fans are going to buy this. I still believe that this game is going to sell some pretty big numbers, mostly because I do think that there is a huge group out there that loves simplistic platformers. I think people still love a game that's like dash, leap, there's the gameplay. I mean, that's part of the reason I'm buying it myself. But I still think that it's so aggravating, the fact that Activision can never have enough money. I don't know if you've ever looked at the actual sales reports, but Activision makes billions and billions and billions of dollars off of microtransactions. So the fact that they can't just take all these dump trucks of money and be happy with it, the fact that now they're trying to go, okay, we can now sell Crash Bandicoot. We still own Crash. It's an Activision property. Let's do this right. And then as they're doing the project, they go, all right, slide in the microtransactions. It shows the fact that the developers, as passionate as they are, as much as they're dedicated to this project, this is still, unfortunately, an Activision property. I mean, personally, this just absolutely annoys me because every project now tries to be monetized from 15 different directions. They want to sell you the game and a season pass and downloadable content and skins. Now, the reason I believe this is skins is because they've already advertised the fact that there's going to be some skins that are pre-order bonuses, so it seems pretty indicative of the fact that they are having the artists and stuff try and develop a bunch of different outfits for Crash. Now, I'm not even saying that these won't be cool. I mean, there's a good chance that these skins will at least look interesting. But I get so annoyed now when I have to pay full price for a game and then there's still stuff that's locked out. Like, one thing that happened recently, which I'm going to be talking a lot more about in a couple weeks, is when they revealed the new Avengers game, they straight up said, this is the Avengers game, it's going to be a games as a service, you're going to be flying around as hero and equipping gear, and as a benefit, like straight up when they were doing the reveal, they actually went like, we're also going to have a store for future purchased content. You'll be able to unlock some stuff, but some things will only be able to be achieved through real world money. Oh my gosh, these companies now are treating microtransactions like a feature instead of a detriment. To these companies, you're not just a gamer, you're not just a dedicated supporter of the fan base, you're not even a collector. You're just another customer that they want to try and milk until eventually you give up. I'm sorry I keep rubbing my face. I am genuinely so frustrated by this because this game is coming soon. I do think that there's something that's going to be special about this Crash because it is one of the very last games coming out before the next generation. The Xbox Series X, the PlayStation 5, these are theoretically going to be dropping in probably early November or late November. They're coming for the holiday season. The fact that this game is coming out in October 2nd, it certainly kind of evokes the idea that this is supposed to be the swan song of the PlayStation 4 to fans like me, people who absolutely love this. So the fact that Activision is throwing this out as one last game to try and monetize you one last time, it feels like it very much misses the point of Crash Bandicoot. But these have just been my off-the-cuff thoughts. What do you think? Have you actually had a chance to see the trailers? Are you excited for Crash Bandicoot? Or do you not really care that Crash is back? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. So I'm going to show you this office a little bit. I'm still trying to construct everything. You can see there's just piles and piles of stuff. I have not built anything yet. I'm not sure exactly how I want to set stuff up, but I am working on it. I gotta buy a bed. I'm actually sleeping on the floor right now, right here. I sleep on the floor every night. And that's nice, but I think it's time to purchase a bed, and I think it's time to try and finish this office. Much love. Keep dreaming. Play some games. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.